Welcome to the SP Controls Pixie Plus IR Programming Guide. This guide will teach you how to program the Pixie Plus using IR remotes for controlling any IR controllable device. To begin the learning process, we will need the following components. A fully assembled and powered Pixie Plus unit, a paperclip which is used to initiate the programming mode of the Pixie Plus. This is included with the manual of the Pixie Plus in the original Pixie Plus blister pack, and an IR remote or multiple IR remotes for the device you wish to control. The Pixie Plus is designed to mimic the IR remotes that come with your individual devices, so you will need them to do the programming to the Pixie Plus itself. And finally, you will need a dimly lit room with as little sunlight or fluorescent light as possible. Both these types of lights tend to interfere with the IR programming process, so it's best to eliminate as much of this as possible in advance. When the Pixie Plus is powered, and if this is the first time it is being programmed, you will notice that the labels just above the buttons will appear much brighter compared to the buttons themselves. This notes that the buttons have not yet been programmed fully. When you press the buttons, you will hear no noises or any distinct indication that the buttons have any commands on them. This is normal behavior for a freshly, newly installed Pixie Plus without any programming. With the lights dimmed, go ahead and insert the paperclip where it says Insert Paperclip to enter learning mode on the bezel. A small hole will be on the bottom right-hand side of the panel. Insert the paperclip and the panel will chirp at you several times, letting you know that it is in learning mode. The learning aperture will also light up red when it is ready. With the Pixie Plus now in learning mode, go ahead and press a button on the panel that you wish to learn a command to. Then, take the remote and aim it at the IR sensor on the top right of the panel. It is labeled Aim Remote to be learned here. Then, press the button on the remote. Give it a good second-long press as you press it. You will notice the learning indicator light will flash as you're pressing the button. After a good second-long press, release the button, and the command will be recorded into the Pixie panel. This will be indicated with a 3-beep sound from the Pixie panel. Repeat this process again for each button following. When finished, simply remove the paperclip to complete the learning process. With the Pixie Plus fully programmed, you'll notice that the buttons now match the brightness of the labels just above the buttons. This denotes that there is commands on these buttons. Next is to press the buttons and confirm that the commands are on the buttons. Pressing the button will cause an audible beep on the Pixie Plus system. On the IR emitter, you will notice the bus activity light flash red as you press the button. This red flash denotes that IR code is flowing from the Pixie to the IR emitter. In this case, you can be sure that the buttons are definitely programmed on the Pixie and flowing throughout the system. The Pixie Plus is capable of storing up to 4 commands per button in a macro or round-robin fashion. In order to add separate commands to these buttons, insert a paperclip to learn, then quickly tap the button you wish to learn commands on. Tap it multiple times for the number of commands you wish to learn. If you wish to learn 2 commands, tap the button twice. For 3 commands, 3 times, and so on. The Pixie will beep at you the number of times that you wish to learn commands for. Then, learn the commands from the remote as you normally would when programming the Pixie. The 3 long beeps at the end when you've finished learning all of your commands denotes that all commands have been learned into the Pixie, and all commands are now present on the single button you wish to program. When initially programmed, multiple commands learned on the same button will be set in a round-robin fashion. Round-robin simply indicates that pressing the button over and over again will send the next command in the line in the order in which it was learned. Pressing it once will activate the first command, a second time the second command, and so on, until it starts over from the beginning. To set the keys in macro mode, insert a paperclip, then press and hold your finger down on the button that you wish to set to macro mode. Wait until it beeps, and then release. When set in macro mode, the button itself will beep when pressed for the number of times that it has commands. If it's 2 commands, the number will beep twice. If 3, 3 times, and so on. The IR indicator for the bus activity will also flash for the number of times for commands that are being sent from the button. If 2, it will flash twice. If 3, it will flash 3 times, and so on. The Pixie Plus has multiple button combinations that you can use, and all of these are programmed slightly differently. When the single power button or the single source button is placed, the Pixie knows that these buttons are in place and treats these as single buttons with 4 commands per button. However, when moving between the double source or the 4 source button, the Pixie is not aware initially of the difference between the two inserted points. In order to make the Pixie aware of this adjustment, you must insert the 4-button source configuration into the Pixie. Once inserted, press and hold down one of these buttons. As you're holding it down, insert a paperclip on the right. This will toggle between the 2 and 4-button combination on the Pixie panel. To delete all program commands from the Pixie, simply insert a paperclip in the bottom right-hand corner, then press and hold down 2 buttons from separate sections. Here we're using power on and volume up. Just press and hold them down. The lights will flash, and then eventually the panel will beep at you, letting you know that the commands are completely clear. Just remove the paperclip and you'll be finished. For more information, visit spcontrols.com. Thank you.